Hello everyone, we're back with another video, our last video of the day for football. So we're going to cover Chelsea, the remaining London club today is Chelsea. Chelsea, although after a brilliant run of games by Frank Lampard, has been faltering a little. The falter started against City, then against West Ham, then against Villa midweek they just barely scraped a win. And then they lost again to Everton.
Haven't been convincing in the last 5 matches, especially after their draw against Ajax. They're struggling they have a must-win match against Lille in the Champions League as well. I mean, mathematically, they can go through based on other results elsewhere, but they can beat Lille. I mean, they should at home, I believe. So, expecting Chelsea to win and go through, but it's not going to get easier for Frank Lampard. I mean, you've been talking about, yes, I can take that loss to City. I mean, that was a very difficult fixture.
And Chelsea was playing really well.
They were playing well for an inexperienced manager like Frank Lampard. They did get the lead, but they could not cling on to it, and they could not score more goals against City. The results against West Ham, I mean, losing at home was not a good, a good result. I mean, West Ham, one of the struggling, inconsistent sides in the league. Pellegrini, he's got a morale-boosting win. Yeah, he's someone who's facing the sack against Lampard. Yes, Pellegrini has loads of experience compared to Lampard, but Lampard had the momentum with him, the results with him. After that Ajax and City match, those two matches, Chelsea have gone down. The problem is, I think, as we've mentioned a lot of times, I mean, the defense, it is vulnerable, and they're making quite a lot of changes. Christensen sometimes coming in, Zuma was also there. Sometimes you have Tomori playing there, Aspilicueta shifting, and he's also playing centre back.
Yeah, Aspilicueta is getting quite old.
Yeah, he's getting quite old, and I believe sometimes, I'm sorry Chelsea fans, but I think just because he's a cult hero in Chelsea, so he doesn't receive his fair share of criticism, and he's always escaping from getting criticized, and we've always seen other players get criticized, but he's lucky to escape from heavy criticism. The thing was, in the Everton match, like we discussed in a previous video, I mean, Duncan Ferguson coming in for Everton, Silva got the sack after losing the Merseyside derby, humiliated 5-2.
Yeah, I think that lifted Everton a bit.
Everton became a bit more physical, and Lampard knew that Duncan Ferguson was a physical and an aggressive player in his playing days, someone who would be in that, in the final third and, climbing on players and fighting his way to get headers and scrape goals for Everton. But, he instilled the same self-belief and aggression in his players, and I think Everton played really well. Chelsea vulnerable in defense, especially the last goal, which I think Calvin Lewis, I don't remember his name correctly, but series of comedy. I mean, no clearance from the defense, and Kepa. I praised him at times. I felt he wasn't as bad as a keeper. People say, but then again, he makes very good saves. But then again, he can give you goals.
Everybody makes mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, but he hasn't set the same sort of example which Cech and Courtois did for Chelsea.
Yeah. One thing I like to point out is that what I feel what's happening is it's the same thing which happened with Solskjaer last year as well. Solskjaer had a really good run of games at the start of his managerial career. Then his playing style got found out by the other managers, and then he had to change his players, change his styles, keep on changing and adapting. Yeah, I think that's what's happening.
That's what Lampard's doing. I mean, Tammy Abraham, he's done well. It is his first season, but the thing is, Hassan, they're unable to finish well. I mean, we were talking about how the way earlier, during the break, I mean, before shooting this video, of how Leicester plays, how direct they can be. I mean, even if you talk about Tottenham, I mean, Harry Kane is someone, if you give him a long ball, he can control it and, finish. The same goes for Jimmy Vardy. So Abraham, he's fairly young, and I mean, this Chelsea side, they are exciting to watch, but they're very vulnerable, and this is not the Chelsea which I'm used to watching. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but the way they're so dominant at times, and this is very highly unlikely of them to lose so many games in a short span of time.
Yeah, I think we touched upon this earlier as well. they've had transfer bans, and
Which is uplifted by the
which
way.
is uplifted, which is great news for Chelsea. But because of that transfer bans, they had a lack of players, a lack of experienced
They had
players.
lack of players, but these same sort of players were doing so well
Yeah.
a month ago. The problem is, see, this was coming. This blimp or this phase was going to come for Chelsea. They have to be very patient with it. They have to find a playing style. I mean, how to feed Abraham, how to finish. Kovacic was good in that match, but
I think his hand was broken by John Terry that
yeah, yeah. Well, he was doing well, but then again from the wings, I think Willian wasn't doing so well when Odoi came in. He slightly played better, and Pulisic, Mount, they weren't able to get those shots in, get those balls in the box and to score. So the defense was bad. I mean, Everton, wow, they come with an amazing result at home. So they've lifted their confidence and they're going to travel to Old Trafford, which is another difficult trip. And Everton is going to play Arsenal, City, and tough teams in this.
And finishing up with
And Liverpool in the FA Cup. Their opener is against Liverpool in the FA Cup at the start of the new year. So not easy for.
They had very tough 6 games.
Yeah, they have very tough 6 games. I mean, it would be a stretch if I would say Duncan Ferguson will be given that managerial role. But let's see how the series of results, whether it goes in their favor or not. But coming to Lampard, Chelsea, I think they're probably going to be active in the transfer window, January 1.
Yeah, especially I believe they need to sign up quality forwards.
They need one forward and they need someone on the left because Azpilicueta was doing well on the left hand side. He was playing as the left back for this match, so it wasn't his natural position, and he doesn't have the legs like he did 3, 4, 5 years ago that he could play on either flanks.
Yes, definitely. And also we touched upon this in the other video as well that Tammy Abraham has had a real good praise because that he scored a lot more goals than Rashford did. But relying on such a young person to be your main goal scorer, that's where the problem lies.
I mean, his playing style is different. He has to adjust to the Premier League, coming from the Championship, very good record.
Yeah.
Lampard knew that he was a talent, and he realized there was a reason for Lampard to bring him in the first team at Chelsea this season, but they need strikers.
But Batshuayi and Giroud are,
Giroud is not part of Lampard's plan. Probably going to leave. He's going to be the first one to leave.
Definitely.
This winter, this January, and
probably going to Inter.
Yeah, probably linked to Inter. He wants some game time so he can be selected and called for the French national team for the upcoming Euros in the summer. So Batshuayi again, very inconsistent, doesn't get his fair share of games. I mean, to be honest, with all due respect, he needs some game time under his belt to get some confidence. But at the moment, this is a tough phase for Chelsea. Again, I would repeat that. Expect this to come. They have to see it through. And who do they play next?
Chelsea is playing Bournemouth. Bournemouth is walking wounded right now. I guess they only have like 14 players.
Yeah, a lot of the squad players missing. Should be getting back to winning ways. I expect them to beat Lille in the Champions League.
Eddie Howe is under a lot of pressure.
Eddie Howe, very good coach, but unfortunately he's done very well with Bournemouth. He's avoided relegation since he's promoted Bournemouth in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he has decent set of players, but they're not in the best of forms. I mean, losing 3-0 to Liverpool at home, now going away to Chelsea, who haven't been in good form. But I see Chelsea to see this one through, for them to come back to winning ways this time.
Especially because the entire defensive wall of Bournemouth is missing due to injury. So
I expect Chelsea to see this 3-1 win, maybe 3-0.
Probably this is the way. This is where Chelsea should come back and get some confidence.
This is where Lampard needs to get points. I mean, the question is, can they retain top 4? Someone asked me.
Yeah, they still have a good way to go.
Yeah, I think they still have, because other teams, they've had a slow start. I think United are still
in the
7 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah.
For that 4th spot. But if they start becoming inconsistent the way they are right now, then United and the other teams can really catch up fast on them.
Definitely. Also over here, I'd like to give a shout out to our our friend Dayan. He's in Lahore right now and probably is going to make a video with another channel that called Keeping Score, who's a Chelsea oriented page. So let's do tune into that video as well. And
Yeah, definitely we'll share it. If we get the video, we'll also share it, and we'll have views of Manchester United and Chelsea fans.
Definitely.
What they think about the matches which have gone by in game week 15 and 16 and the upcoming fixtures for game week 17.
Definitely. And also we've been getting requests from people to wanting us to join us in our videos. We're trying our best.
We're trying our best, time crunch. I mean, we're coming from work and shooting this video. It's not easy, but
and
we
also
have to,
technical resources. We're learning how to edit on the fly.
we'll have to see. I've connected with a couple of fans abroad as well. So let's see. We'll come onto that soon. We'll have fans coming in for the show. We'd love to hear from you. Do send out. Yes, you cannot be on the show, but do comment. Do give your feedback to us and share the videos. Do subscribe. What do you want to hear from us, Chelsea fans? Who are the possible targets or the players who you feel will come in and Lampard can probably sign in this January window? Definitely. Now that the ban has been uplifted.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's about it for the video. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Hafiz.